Listen, because I've been making videos lately about satanic ritual abuse, mind control, things like MK Ultra, Alice in Wonderland programming, I wanted to bring to your attention something that I believe is connected to it all. And I have a strong suspicion that the television series Doctor Who is actually likely being used in mind control programming. If you're familiar with my testimony, you know that there were, from the time I turned 33, a lot of strange events that happened in my life over the coming years until my gang stalking, quote, began at the age of 38. Involvement with the occult and basically women who were deeply involved in that themselves sort of just entering my life and in many ways wreaking havoc upon it. There was also a Buddhist priest at the time who I had some conflict with, who before he became a Buddhist priest was in Temple of Set, and he had a gigantic Doctor Who obsession. The second woman that came into my life after the one that my mother, my birth mother, literally called into my life. This is the second woman that came into my life. She also was a huge Doctor Who fan. Obsession. These people were obsessed with that program. And the ex-girlfriend right before my gang stalking began also had, actually it's really one of her primary obsessions. Alice in Wonderland is a constant theme in things that she posts a lot about, but Doctor Who is basically the one and only most important thing in her life. And I find that interesting. There was also an evening, I'll just mention this, because according to some of the articles that I've looked into on this, there's nothing really about mind control, but there are several articles that you can find that suggest that someone at the Central Intelligence Agency likes to name programs after Doctor Who. And I'll just share this with you anecdotally. And according to this article, one of the programs was actually named Weeping Angel, which was named after an episode of Doctor Who. Well, I should just read the article here. The article at geek.com says, but some believe the so-called Weeping Angel operation was named for one of the Doctor's most frightening foes. And what's odd here, actually, is not just the context of my entire testimony and all the events that I've been through, but one night when I was over at her house and she was watching Doctor Who a lot, we were smoking pot, and I didn't watch it. I wasn't paying attention. I'm not interested in Doctor Who. But she really wanted me to watch an episode of Doctor Who, and she was making this big kind of emphasis around it. You know, I really want you to watch this. It was the Weeping Angel episode. That's always stood out as very strange, and I can't put my finger on it. There's really not much out there on this topic, and so I'm kind of, in some ways, like the first to begin talking about it. I'm curious to know if any of you actually out there who have gone through gang stalking also had people, let's say, involved in the stalking behavior, or who you believe, maybe people that you were romantically involved with. Maybe it was women, maybe it was men that you were romantically involved with who had an obsession with this television series. Let me know down in the comments. Again, like I said, I'm kind of just sort of posing a what if, but we do know that they do use popular culture programs to program individuals with, and so I'm just trying to establish maybe if we can see if it's kind of clear that Doctor Who is one of them. All right, thank you so much. Stay strong, stay blessed, stay close to Jesus Christ. He loves you. Have a good day.